Hey everybody, and welcome to Twin Talk, a video discussion show where twin brothers Chris and Kevin drink and draw. We'll talk about comic books, movies, and all things pop culture. We are your hosts, Chris Hart,
Kevin Hart,
and today we're going to be talking about Batman Returns.
Stick around to the end of the episode to see how our drawing of The Batman, or is it just Batman, came out. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel for more content.
Batman Returns is the sequel to 1989's Batman. We missed out on the Batmania of 1989, and this movie came out when we were 6 months old in 1992, so we did not see it in theaters. But I'll tell you what we did do. We destroyed the VHS tape of this over and over and over again. We would watch this thing every single day with our grandparents. Mm-hmm. This movie holds a special place in my heart, nostalgia-wise. I would say this is a top 3 Batman film.
I get why it's like hated, quote unquote, or why they moved on from it, because it's very dark. This is not meant for kids. Like, they marketed Batman as like a kid's product. A baby gets thrown into a river. Their children are being kidnapped in the middle of the night while they're sleeping.
There's blood, gushing blood.
Gushing blood. Sexual references are made. This is not a kid's movie by any means. But I love every second of it. I mean, honestly, even as kids, it didn't really bother me.
Not at all. As a kid, I understood the creative choices in this film.
We got it. Okay, this is an adult Batman. This is dark. That's what Batman is.
And I can understand why parents would freak out. The infamous story behind McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Yeah. They couldn't sell it because the movie was so dark and gothic. But honestly, you hired Tim Burton. What do you expect from this? What he did in the first film was great, but this is him with free reign. They said, do what you want. The first movie was a success. This is your movie. And what we got was a Tim Burton Batman movie. And that's why I love this film.
Even like that shot of the Gotham Zoo, the Arctic land or whatever. I was like, I've seen this before in The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like, this is literally like the set that he created.
Arctic World?
Yeah, Arctic World.
The closed down zoo from Gotham.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, why'd that place go out of business? It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of camp here too. Like, as dark and gritty and grounded as Tim Burton made it, there is a lot of camp in it. You know, we have, for God's sakes, there's an army of penguins with rocket-propelled launchers on their backs. Yeah. There's a mechanical duck being ridden in this movie. Like, it's crazy.
I love the duck. I want like a hot toy of that, or like a Hot Wheels. And being that this is a Tim Burton Batman film, there's a lot of creative choices made that I honestly buy into, considering that it's his film. It's very emo and gothic and dark. I buy into that. Decisions like making Oswald Cobblepot a mutant baby that gets thrown into a river and gets raised by penguins, far-fetched. But because it's a Tim Burton Batman film, I completely buy into it. Selena Kyle getting killed and being revived by cats, I buy into it. Having 9 lives, nowhere in the movie does it explain
that.
But
very supernatural.
You just get it because it's a Tim Burton Batman film.
Talking about Selena Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We became men when we saw this film. Exactly. She's licking herself. Yeah. I wish I was licking myself.
Something about that shiny leather. I wanted to show her my French flipper trick. Even the suit, to me, this is a superior film. The suit looks so clean. Yeah, it's so clean. So much more refined than the first one. The first one's great, but this one, I was like, they nailed it. The whole Oswald Cobblepot thing with him searching for his family, that kind of resonated too with Bruce Wayne. He lost his parents. Even that line when he says, "Oh, his parents, I hope he finds them." That was a nice little touching moment. I was like, oh, the characters get each other. Selena Kyle's whole arc with this Max Schreck, Christopher Walken. You're fired. I loved every moment this dude spoke in this movie.
He is full bore Christopher Walken in this film.
His son, whoever he is, the worst actor I've ever seen in the film. Dad, go. Save yourself. Dad, go.
It's time to bring joy to the masses. Batman's a psychopath. Period.
Dude's crazy. They even mentioned it in the first movie, the 89 movie, when she's like, this is not normal. He's like, it's not a normal world. I was like, ah! Yeah. I was like, this guy gets it.
Also, too, going back to that first film, Batman says the Joker's a psychopath. And then Vicky Vale says, some people might think that about you. And he kind of does that turn in the shadow. Speaking of the turn, the costume change, it's great. Still can't move his neck, though. The whole movie is just like this, doing one of these, doing the RoboCop. The RoboCop.
Cape's just going back and forth. Can't move. Can't look down.
the sketches that Tim Burton did of these characters, Penguin, Catwoman, Batman, awesome stuff. Very his style, very gothic. So it's cool to see like his sketches come to life in the costume department. I feel like they nailed it for his tone. I'm okay with them making Oswald Cobblepot into like this like monster because it's a cool take, especially knowing that it is Tim Burton. You buy into it. I love, like you said, like his hands are all mutated. He's got like black goo spewing from him. He was raised by penguins in the sewer. Like it's very, very out there.
Right.
But it kind of works. Same thing with Selena Kyle. I love like that she like goes crazy and makes this suit, stitches together this suit of leather and like goes out there and tries to fight for like women's rights basically. She was like basically abused by her boss and then goes out there and becomes like this badass and saves this one woman from getting raped. She says, "I'm Catwoman, hear me roar." I love that line, and then she does like 10
very
backflips.
dominant.
Yeah, it's just very cool. And then you see that she meets her match with Batman, and I thought that was a great love interest because I want my Batman with an equal of him. The duality of them, Bruce Wayne, Selena Kyle, they're Batman and Catwoman. And at the end of the movie, they discover it, and it's just cool. It's like seeing these two psychopaths, their love, it can never truly be because they have this dual identity.
I was just going to say that, too. At the end of the movie, with the whole Shrek masquerade, they're the only two people in the room without masks.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great direction choice. The whole thing, too, with the whole duality and their whole romance between Bruce and Selena, it works. Like, they get each other. Vicky Vale didn't get it. She doesn't get it. Yeah. Selena Kyle gets it. And that's
why she ain't around no more.
Yeah, she got the boot.
She had the vamoose.
But that's what makes Bruce and Selena such an interesting romance, right? They understand each other. Even the whole fact of, like, she was like, oh, like, they love each other. And then once they realized their counterparts, she's like, are we supposed to start fighting right now? I was like, that's a genius line. Like, Tim Burton really understood these characters. And even Danny DeVito, like, as gross and grotesque as he was, like, that was the whole point, is that he had this sketch of, like, what, a little baby mutated, like, alone with the circus things. Like, he was an outcast. He was born different, quote unquote, right? And that was his whole thing, is he was searching for his parents, and like he was abandoned. Like even every scene in this movie, Shrek abandons him, the circus people abandoned him, his family abandoned him, and that was his whole point, is he was all alone in this world, and he dies, as disgusting as of a scene as it is, with the black,
very emotional,
with like the tar coming out of his mouth. Yeah. It's very emotional because all he's left with is what he was born with. The penguins. They were his family. It was crazy.
By the way, this is Danny Elfman's best score. This is the best Batman score, in my opinion. I listen to this thing pretty frequently throughout the year. Official motion picture soundtrack. I listen to this thing every day, especially right now in this blizzard.
Oh my God, the snow, the whole aesthetic of Gotham. That's like one of my favorite moments of this movie, is that the whole Christmas vibe, the whole winter vibe. I love it. It's so gothic, so Gotham.
Batman's in the snow with the Batmobile, and he's like kind of like spying on Oswald because he doesn't trust him. He's running for mayor. Everybody's starting to love him. Yes. He's a sympathy case. The thing I love about that scene the most is that Batman is talking to Alfred. Nobody else is hearing him, but he's still using the Batman voice. So it's like, this is who he is. He is Batman. Obviously, Alfred knows he's Bruce Wayne. He could just talk to him normally as Bruce Wayne.
Right.
But the psychosis of him, he's still talking to him as Batman. And I love that. He stays in character.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Keaton, they are two different people in this movie. Selena Kyle, Catwoman. Bruce Wayne, Batman. Their voices, everything about it, like, they're two different identities, and that's like such an incredible job on their end because it's so believable, and it's honestly really badass.
It is very badass, yeah. Both our wives are disgusted by this film. They will not watch it. But I grew up with Danny DeVito at this point as a Penguin, so he's family to me. So I took it as offensive as possible. The scene where he's like dangling, Max Shrek is dangling the fish. He takes it out of like the deli wrap paper. All that does is make me want fish.
Raw fish.
Or like a nice roast beef sambo out of the deli wrap.
Let's talk about our favorite scenes. I'm a little torn on this one because that whole nervous breakdown sequence of Selena Kyle, when you see her, she's like the voicemails, her routine of, oh, the kitties get the fed, you know, like the apartment is all pink, right? She was very like bubbly, very like, you know, ditzy, and then she's spray painting everything black. Everything gets knives in the garbage disposal.
She's ripping up teddies.
Like the milk's getting thrown everywhere. All of that was so well done. Like you could see her character. She was like this persona that got walked on. And now she seems to be dominant. Like even the whole thing, hello there, her bed that comes out of the wall. And then she breaks everything. It says hell here. And she's like, I feel so much. Like the whole.
Yummy.
She switched. Totally different character. So dominant. Everything about that was incredible to me.
Even her jumping rope with the whip and stuff. And department store and like just destroying everything. Even her entrance to Batman and Penguin.
That's what I was gonna say. That's also like that's one of my favorite.
When
scenes.
she does like so many backflips to them and just says meow, and then boom, the explosion goes off.
Yeah, that's got to be again up there with my favorite scenes because you have these three characters that are just standing there. One's dressed as a bat, one's dressed as a cat, and one's dressed as a freaking bird. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this should not work. Only in Gotham City. Only in Gotham City. It's incredible. And even that whole like interaction too, when he was like, oh, he's like admiring your handiwork.
Upstanding
mayor stuff. He's like, you're not the mayor. And that whole thing's changed. Nipples out to here, dude. Such a great, it's
good stuff.
Batman realizes the threat. He wasn't trustworthy, right?
Yeah.
There's Shrek and him have different motives, but Batman's got to be. First of all, he gets framed in this movie, and he's got to like uphold his name, which he does so by recording on Napster the CD. Like he puts in the thing, like 2 lines recorded, just completely outed the Penguin, which I thought.
Which,
was hilarious.
by the way, I love that it's a customized Batman CD.
Yes,
with the Bat logo.
He Apple branded his own logo onto this thing, and also too, just that whole reversal of these character arcs. Penguin, the whole movie, he wants to be recognized as a citizen, as normal. But then once society turns on him, he's like, I am not Oswald Cobblepot.
I am not a human being. I'm an animal.
It's like, I'm the Penguin. And all of that, like Tim Burton just really understood these characters.
My favorite scene in the movie is honestly in the beginning. The Penguin's emerging from the sewers. He's trying to take down Max Schreck with this giant like Christmas present. The Red Triangle Circus Gang comes out. All hell's breaking loose, and they call Batman. And I love that Bruce Wayne is just sitting in his library, just sitting in his library, waiting for some purpose. We see the
turtleneck and all.
Yeah, we just see the bat signal come on. This guy he's just dying to get back into this role as Batman. This is who he truly is. We see that he shows up, and the action in this scene is awesome. Like we said, we were talking before about how it's okay if Batman kills as long as it fits for the story. I love that he lights up the dude in the devil costume.
El Diablo.
Yeah, I love that. Just turns
got a taste of his own medicine.
Turns the Batmobile around, just lights him up with the exhaust.
Unfortunately, Tim Burton got the boot from Warner Brothers. It was too dark. Never got to do a third movie because we see the seeds being set up between Harvey Dent. Billy D. Williams was Harvey Dent. We're probably going to see his arc because Two-Face is in the third movie, Batman Forever. And there's rumors that there was supposed to be a Robin in the third movie. Obviously, Selena Kyle is still alive. It's a shame, but honestly, there is a current comic book out there written by the same writer, Sam Hamm, I believe, from the movie that continues this Tim Burton verse. So I'm very excited to read that and pick that up when it's on a graphic novel format, and I could just binge the crap out of that. And that's the thing is I want to explore this Tim Burton universe, this Michael Keaton Batman. With the current movie, The Flash, coming out, we know that Keaton's returning as Batman. Batfleck will be in it. A nice send-off for him. But
he's also going to be in Batgirl, too.
He's going to be a Batgirl, so he's basically like the role model. Will they make him he's obviously older now. Are they going to make him like towards a Batman Beyond, the Terry McGinnis type?
Or Kingdom Come Batman.
Kingdom Come Batman. So, I'm all for it. It's unfortunate how it's all coming together. But the thing that gets me cautiously optimistic is that I'm super excited for Keaton. Was Burton even consulted on this? Because we know that the Birds of Prey screenwriter, Christina Hodson, is in control of my favorite childhood Batman. And I will be crushed to dust if this turns out to be a flop with, Ezra Miller and all that. Still not like 100% buying into it. I'm bittersweet about it. Final grade for this thing. What do you think?
I will be giving Batman Returns an 8.5. Solid film. Very stylized. I love everything about it. 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I gave Batman 89 an 8. This one's a little bit higher in the column for me, so 8.5 for me, 100%. I think we even rode that, whatever Penguin the Batman ride. I was like, like we definitely rode that as kids.
Yeah, they had that at like
Kmart.
Kmart stuff. Yeah.
Nostalgia. It's even snowing as we record this episode. So.
Yeah, we picked a perfect night to review this because it's just everything. Everything fell into place.
Got the physical media here. The Batman Returns on DVD. Not even Blu-ray.
DVD. Yeah. Just love the sound of it. The only thing that made me happier is with a VHS, but cheers.
The tornado beat.
This was a lot of fun to go over this film. Like I said, this is probably my most underrated Batman film. I feel like people give this a lot of crap, but it's a great film.
This is the one I love the most.
It's a great film. It really is. I'm excited to look into the Schumacher stuff because as bad and campy and corny as it is, it holds a special place in my heart, especially Batman and Robin. Can't wait to do those films too. We're reviewing every other Batman film. Can't wait to go over it leading up to the Batman. We have a giveaway coming up. We're going to have rules about that on our Instagram, so be sure to check that out. Head over to our Instagram at Twin Talk Bros to check out the rules on that giveaway.
What did you guys think about Batman Returns? Let us know in the comments below. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below to join the discussion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time.
Peace!